The JNF is the sponsor of the trip, and they're the ones that have done an incredible amount in Israel. I'm going to let Uncle Jerry explain it to you. We're also going to give out these sheets. All the teachers are going to get some, and we're going to be running a campaign for the next 2 months till Shavuot. Every class that raises at least $100 will get in their Pushka, so are going to get a prize, and the class that raises the most will get a really good prize. So we're going to let Uncle Jerry talk a little, talk about a little bit about the JNF and the Pushka.
Okay, if you look at your Pushka, on one side it has since 1901. In 1901, there was a conference, a Jewish conference in Basel, Switzerland, where Theodor Herzl got up and said, we need to start buying land in Israel. At that point, the Rothschild families and other very notable families in Europe started collecting money to buy land in Israel. To date, JNF, the Jewish National Fund, owns 16% of the land of Israel. Those that were in the 8th grade saw what has happened there, right? We took desert, the families that were kicked out of Gaza. Today there's a community of 300 families called Chalutza, and we have there, we're growing etrogim. There's a 50% chance that any etrog you got last Sukkot came from Chalutza. 50,000 etrogim came to the United States from Chalutza. We saw broccoli growing. Both my wife and myself, Shelly and myself, have 50 acres of land that we put up greenhouses. We did this to keep 6 farmers busy and support their families. They're growing broccoli and cauliflower, bug-free, for the entire Haredi market. We were supposed to bring it here, but Geula wanted it, and the Asharim wanted it, so we kept everything in Israel. 220 tons. Does anybody know how much is 220 tons? How many pounds in a ton? Does anybody know? Go ahead.
2,000.
2,000. That's 2,000 times 220. That's 440,000 pounds. 500,000 pounds of broccoli and cauliflower. What we're doing this year is the following. Let's go back in history. Well, Chalutza started 15 years ago, where there was a disengagement from Gaza. 30 families said, we're not going to live in tents. We know this land, and we're going to build in this land. And they started a half a mile from Gaza and a mile from the Egyptian border. We heard the tanks when we were there doing maneuvers.
When I went to sleep at night, they said, don't worry if you hear explosions. That's the Egyptians fighting ISIS. That's how close it was. But it was safe.
$90 million later in produce. They're producing $90 million in produce that they're shipping all over the world today. So year number 1, Shelly and myself and our community here, we're working on building the greenhouses, and we call the incubator program. Anyone that wants to go to live in Chalutza and get accepted by the Chalutza community is given 6 dunam of land, 1.5 acres of land. They have a mentor that works with them to show them how to grow, and after 3 years they can sustain themselves and their family. So the incubator program is moving very strongly, and we finished with that. The second thing we did last year is the building of the medical center. I will tell you, the medical center opened up 2 weeks ago, because the closest medical center to Chalutza is going to be Beersheba, which is an hour drive. So if you have a mommy that's pregnant and getting ready to give birth, she doesn't have an hour time to get into Beersheba. They're going to have the birthing rooms and everything is there. This year we've taken a different step. If you remember Chalutza girls and guys that were there are really no TVs, right? There's no theaters going on. There's really no restaurant going on. So everybody, as a family, every family works together with other family, and they create their own way of life. This year, we're looking to build a community center. The community center that will have Zumba classes, will have yoga classes, will have a theater inside, a 500-seat theater, so they can create various things. The school can put on theatrical events over there, as well as for the Yom Tovim and so on and so forth. The other thing that we're going to do, which Shelly and I are going to sponsor, which is our goal, is the cafe in there, so you can have a frappe or you can have a Starbucks there in the middle of the desert. We're going to sponsor the cafe in this particular community center, okay? So we want all of you to go home. Every Shabbos, before Mommy lights the lift, put in a dime, put in a quarter, put in $1. Okay, this should be right next to the candles that Ima is lighting Erev Shabbos. Okay? And Shavuos time, God willing, we'll start to collect all of this, and we'll have maybe the name of Poland on one of the different walls in this community center. Thanks a lot, kids.
Thank you.